I realized again recently, it's like more and more things that I realize. When I was in school, from the time that I was little, even all the way through uni, if I was listening to a lecture or anything, something that I needed to learn or remember, I had to be doing something else to pay attention to it or to remember what they're talking about. And so in elementary or primary school and middle school, if I was taking notes or listening to a lecture, I had to also be like drawing on the sides of the paper at the same time, and then I would get in trouble for that. And then in uni, I just literally, my notes, I would write down every single word that the professor said. And I would take extensive notes. I would write the whole time, everything. And it wasn't even that I was like, I'm not going to remember this, so I need to write it down right now and go back on it. Because I don't think I even referenced my notes. I think it was because when I was writing it down and I was writing the words, I have that sort of thing where the notes that I would take, I could see the notes in my head. And so when we were doing especially like the uni stuff, the thing that I had to do for that was like, especially art history, which was my major, was name of the painting, year that it was painted, artist that painted it, category of painting or whatever, and then a summary of the painting or information about it. And so when I would take my exams, I would study by going through my notes, but it would be, I would read everything, close my eyes, and imagine the paper, get as much of it as I could remember, check how much of it was correct, and then do that over and over again until I could see the picture in my head of the paper, which sounds insane. And I think also the fact that the act of writing it helped me remember, because if I was writing it down, I was hearing the word almost like twice or something. And so they would be saying the word, I would be writing it, so the word would be happening twice. But then also I could see the word in my head. And I think that was the best way to do it. But also, I think people would think that I wasn't paying attention, because I would not look up at all, because I'd be writing everything down. It's like Mulan when she writes the stuff on her arm, except I would write it on my arm and then I would remember it. Same thing, Zed. Yeah, it's weird, but it's how it worked for me. And I think also, of course, like, I think I essentially special interested into art history, and then it was easy to study because I was enjoying the things that I was learning about. Look up and write, have perfect eye contact with my professor while I'm writing down every word the professor is saying. See, I think I just, like, I can imagine myself at my desk, and I would just be like this and writing everything down. And I would write in cursive because I would turn my paper and I would write at an angle, and so my writing would be like also at an angle, but it would be cursive, so it would be easy because I didn't have to lift my pen very much. But my notes were like beautiful and immaculate and just really good. Speed writing, yeah. It's almost like that old style of like shorthand or whatever, but not really. That stuff is cool. I'd like to learn about that sometime.